Hello drivers, welcome back to the channel. Do you know how many times we pick our phones in a day? Based on the research, average millennials are picking their phone 150 times a day. Yes, you heard me right. Let me show you how many times I picked my phone in last week. On July 14th, I picked my phone 156 times. On July 15th, I picked my phone 65 times. On July 16th, I picked 126 times. So maybe the research and the average males are picking up their phones 150 times a day is true. Don't you agree? Okay, let me ask you something. So tell me the date and time where we don't use our phone. So especially these quarantine times, we are using the phones more. So many of my friends and family members are asking me how I get time to make these kind of videos. Yes, they're right. Because I'm doing my business course with Yak University. From Monday to Thursday I'll be spending on my classes. After that we have a hell lot of things to do like assignments, discussions and presentations. Apart from that I'm working as a TA in other college. To make these kind of videos it will take me any days between 2 to 3 days. To write the script, to film, to edit and produce and publish. If you're enjoying this video, please do hit that like button, share, comment and subscribe. So let us assume we pick our phones 150 times a day. So every time we pick our phone, we tend to use 2 minutes or 5 minutes. Suppose if we are using it for 2 minutes, that is like 150 times into 2, it will come around 300 minutes. So if you divide this 300 minutes by 60 minutes, that is 1 hour, it will come around 5 hours a day. And if you are using it for 5 minutes, it will be around 750 minutes, and if you divide it by 60, that is 1 hour, it will come around 12.5 hours. So on an average, humans are spending 5 hours in a day. So it's common, right? Like every time we get a notifications, we pick our phone and we use it for 2 or 3 minutes. So in this scenario, if you pick it up for 150 times, so you will get to know like how many hours we're spending on mobile. And remember, this is our tool and you're the boss. Don't ever get into the situation that this will become your boss and you're the tool. That is the worst situation we can ever get. So in this video we will see how I can able to tweak my phone and how I can able to change those settings to buy extra hours to work on my things. So even you can do these changes on your phones and you can buy those extra hours and you can work on your own things. Maybe it's reading a book, going to swimming classes, or going to dance classes, whatever you are thinking to do it. So at the end of this video, I'll show you the proofs as well. So after making these changes, I can able to cut down the hours off. Suppose if I'm spending on my phone 5 hours, I can able to cut down those to 2.5 hours. So let's see what are those simple changes that you can buy extra hours to work on your things. So this is the main screen. So here you can find like all the useful apps. So what are the main apps you will surf in a day, like you'll use in a day, everything will be here. So if you observe here, so I have my Google Maps, clock, Todoist and the calculators and those note taking drives and my news feedly app and note taking app, calendar, everything here in the main screen. So because whenever I open my phone, this is the first screen I'll get into. So if you have all these main apps in this screen, you can easily access and you can turn off your phone. So instead of keeping it somewhere inside, so if you have all those useful apps in one screen, it will be easy for you to use and immediately close your phone. So that is the first setting that we need to have in our phones. So keep all the useful apps and mainly used apps in the home screen so that you don't spend more time on searching for the apps that you need to use daily. So this is the home screen setting that I have done, and let's see the second setting that I have done. Yes, here I grouped all my apps into different categories. So if you observe, all the apps or groups are in alphabetical order, so that whenever I open my phone, I'll easily get to know where my apps are there. Because if you see the naming of these groups, so this is advertisement and shopping, entertainment, finances, health, learn new, music, messages, news, and professional, and all these apps are categorized into groups, and I have in these particular folders. So it will be easy for me to come to this place, and if I want to look for the messages, I can easily tap on messages and see all my related messages related apps are in this group, in this folder. It will be useful for me to spend less time on this phone. So if you observe, so all my related apps are in here. So finances will have all the related financing apps, and this professional is like LinkedIn and Teams and the Zoom meetings. So photo and edit, so these are the apps I use. So everything in categorized way. So these folders are mainly like utilities, so the apps that have come from the iPhone, and there are some inbuilt apps also which we don't use at all. I categorized and I have placed it here. There are some apps which we used in past and we don't want to use them in anymore, so those things I offloaded and I have kept a folder for this, because in any time near future we might use them. So that's the reason I created a folder for that, and I have kept all these things here. So these two are the most time taking folders in my phone. That's the reason I have kept this page at the end of my carousel list, because if you observe, this is my main screen, and the next one is grouping my apps related to their categories, and this is the place for unused utilities and inbuilt apps and offloaded apps, and this screen contains most consumed apps in my phone. So if you observe, I named them as leisure and try further. So leisure is nothing but, so whenever I get time, then I need to open this folder. If you observe, in leisure folder we have WhatsApp. So but if you open this, in the first screen you will see only WhatsApp, and if you swipe it, you can see all the related social media apps. So the reason behind this, suppose whenever you see like this, you can able to see only WhatsApp. So whenever you pick your phone, there are less chances that you will go to Facebook and Instagram. So if you keep them here in this folder, in this screen, so it will be easy for you to open those apps and click and spend more time on this. So but in this way, at least for some time, you will, whenever you see your phone, you will forget that you have the apps in there. So that's the reason I have tweaked it like this. And this thrive further, this is business account. So this YT Studio, so this is where I'll get all the comments and the notifications. So the same strategy applies here also. If you open YouTube, you're ready to lose 2 or 3 hours. So that's the reason I kept it in the other folder. So whenever I see this folder, I just see the YouTube Studio, that's it. So these are the screen settings. So these are the number of screens that I have. So everything is categorized and easy to use. And the next big thing is go to settings, go to notifications, and turn off all the notifications. So whatever the apps you have, first turn off all the notifications, and then think about what are the apps that you need to turn on the notifications. Because so whenever we are using our phones, it's obvious that we'll get some important notifications, important mail notifications from our universities or from our workplace, and there are some important groups, family groups or friends groups that you need to get notifications from. So find out those useful apps and try to turn on only those particular notifications. So in this way you can save a lot of time. This way, whenever you have these kind of settings, when you turn off all the notifications, so you don't be getting every notifications from every app. So in this way there won't be much distraction. So just observe, like whenever you get a notification, you just pick your phone and try to look into the things from where you got the notification and what it is. So this way, if you turn off all the notifications except the important ones, so you will save a lot of time. You will not pick your phone and you will not check those notifications. If there is no notifications, there is no checking. So this is the next second important thing that you need to do in your phone. And the next thing is, go to settings, display and brightness, and turn off this rise to wake. So it's one important setting. So whenever you pick up your phone, it should not show your screen. So whenever it is showing, that means suppose if you have any notifications, so you will tend to open and you will spend your time on your phone. So it's better like you decide when to open your screen. So instead of whenever you pick your phone and it's showing the screen, you tend to jump into it and you tend to lose the time. So it's always better to turn off this rise to wake. Go to settings, do not disturb, and set the timings and schedule it from and to, so you will not receive any calls, messages, or other notifications as well. This particular time will be for you and to do your personal readings or personal journaling, all those things. So it's always important that you should have your personal scheduled time. You should have your personal scheduled time like do not disturb. And you can set, even if you are in do not disturb, you can allow phone calls from your family and friends, important emergency contacts. So you can do all those settings here. So this way you will not get disturbed more and you will not receive any notifications. But after the next day morning, you can see all those notifications, and if you missed any calls, you can call them back. If you missed any messages, you can reply them back. So this way you will have your own personal time and you can spend this time on your personal things. And finally, the sidebar. So this is where I have all my calendars, shortcuts, podcast I listen to, on the screen time, and the WhatsApp, and everything will be there in this sidebar. So this is where I'll get a glimpse of what I have scheduled and what I have for the upcoming days. So on here, shortcuts, these shortcuts are very much useful. So instead of going in depth to the mobile and going in depth to the apps, so if you have created these shortcuts, so it will be easy for you to navigate to that particular activity. So I'll talk about all these things in my future videos. And these are the podcasts I listen to, and here I have my screen time. So whenever I see this sidebar, it will give me a reminder that I'm spending overtime or not. So if I'm spending overtime, so I'll get to know once I see this screen time here. So I have all these my favorite contacts and my WhatsApp, everything is in this sidebar. So I just need to come here and look for the things what is scheduled and what is not. So this way I'm full arranged and I'm ready for the day to tackle it. So in the upcoming videos, I'll talk about the tools I'm using and the apps I'm using to be more productive. So let's see how many hours I can save after making these changes. So in the upcoming videos, I'll be talking about the apps and tools I'll be using in my personal life and for my business. So if you don't want to miss those things, subscribe. Let's try further together. Do you know the iPhone? Do you know? Do you know? Do you know how many? Do you know how many times? Do you know how many times we pick our phone in a day? Here, here, and here too. Here too. Na washroom na book after. వచ్చింది కెమెరా దాకా. వచ్చిందా? స్లోమో లేదు. చాలే అది పోద్ది. మనకుండేది ఐఫోన్ ఒకటే, ఇదిగా పోయింది అనుకో. మనకుండేది ఐఫోన్ ఒకటి, ఇదిగా పోయింది అనుకో. షూటింగ్లో ఏం లే ఇంకా.